You know, survival games are a genre that left more to be desired. We all remember 2014 through 2016 when every big YouTuber was playing the newest survival games, Stranded Deep, The Forest, and Subnautica. Dayz is arguably a different genre because it's basically a PvP game and it blew up in the early 2010s. The whole idea of surviving in a game was really cool. It was like you have to drink water and eat? Oh my god, that's like real life! The game! And honestly, some of these games are a ton more fun to watch than play. I remember wanting to really try these games out as a kid, and now that I can, they're actually very shallow and dare I say boring. Yeah, some of them are actually kinda cool, like Subnautica and The Forest, but really all they are is farming simulators and walking simulators. I never really got into them. YouTubers made these games look so entertaining and interesting, so it was a letdown when I realized, hey, maybe drinking and eating in a game isn't as exciting as I thought it was. Shocker, I know. But one thing was for sure about these games, little to no people were actually able to play them on their PC. Literally no one I knew as a kid was able to play them, because you needed a really high-end PC to play them.
But what the hell, boy?
So a lot of people were left wanting to experience the survival genre, but couldn't. And no, Minecraft doesn't count. There were a few options out there that simulated the genre, but in my opinion no other option did it better than this game, Apocalypse Rising. Now this game is very different. It's a game within a game, and it's glorious. I know what you're thinking, bro, that's Roblox. And I say,
you're goddamn right.
and I know what you're also thinking, bro, that's Unturned. And to that I say, yes, but actually no. The creator of Unturned made a game on Roblox called Dead Zone, which got into a controversy because it was really similar to this game, Apocalypse Rising. This and some other issues with Roblox at the time made him quit Roblox and work on Unturned. So this is pre-Unturned. So yeah, a survival game on Roblox. At the time, this was a great idea since no one could actually run the real survival games and everyone really wanted to have a taste of the genre. Releasing a game like this on Roblox is really awesome because it's Roblox. Most people can run it. I say most because at the time my laptop could barely run this game. But still. So what is Apocalypse Rising? It's a Dayz clone to its core. It doesn't try to do anything crazy like Subnautica or The Forest, and it also isn't very complex at all. It's actually a very vanilla experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. In a way, that's what makes it so enjoyable. You don't have to worry about the many minor things like wearing shoes or getting cuts because you walk through a bush. Not that that's a bad thing per se, but I'm just saying this is a very different and simplified experience which turns out to be very enjoyable, since even the most casual players can join and give it a try. And let's be real, do survival games really need a dedicated shit button? A dedicated eat shit button? A dedicated use shit button? A dedicated for shit button? A dedicated talk shit button? Actually, I kinda like that one.
How are you not fucking dead? Oh, you're getting raided, dog.
Thankfully with this game you can just hop in and play. It's that simple. Alright, before we get into the game I need to make something very clear. At this point the game is basically abandonware. I had a lot of footage for the PS5 version of this game, but for some reason I lost it. So I decided to try out the PC this time, and as it turns out it ain't all that bad. For years it used to be completely swarmed by hackers, but it seems like they all migrated over to the sequel, and or they just got bored of this game. But so far for the time I recorded I found 0 hackers in the game. There is like 3 servers available though, and the only people who still play on the PC are very try-hard OG Robloxians who never gave up on the game. Seriously though, this game is hardcore mode on PC. I mean, they basically turned the starting pistol into a sniper and an SMG at the same time. I mean, look at this shit. I'm getting sniped with the starting pistol and they were all headshots too. At first I thought it was a hacker, but no, everyone seems to be equally as good as this guy, cause everyone is no life sweating it. And who knows, you might even see a few hackers at some point. Now, Roblox just released on the PS4 and PS5. You can play the Xbox version of Apocalypse Rising on the PS4 and PS5. I know, that's a very weird sentence, but so far to me the PS4 version is unplayable. There is this weird stick drift going on. You push a stick to one direction and it just keeps going in that direction forever until you flick it to some other direction. It happens with both joysticks, so it renders the game unplayable. I tried connecting my mouse and keyboard to the PS4 and it worked, kinda, not really. The mouse works and the keyboard works. The only problem I ran into was that the mouse disappears when you're in the inventory screen. Any other UI is apparently okay, but the inventory, the main component of the game, is not. So again, it's unplayable. However, these problems might just be for me. I can't know for sure. So go ahead and try the game out, it's free anyways. Okay, now for the PS5. So far this is the best way to play the game and the reason I'm making this video. In case it wasn't clear, there are no hackers on console. But now there's only 3, I guess, slight problems. First of all, most servers are dead. You can't really pick and join which servers you want to join. You'll get an error message saying you can't join. So there's only like 2 or 3 servers that are actually functional. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And you have to click the big play button instead of the join button. So yeah, it's random which server you join. The second issue is that there is still some sort of stick drift, but it's nowhere near as deadly as in the PS4. It doesn't happen for your character's movement, but it does happen for the camera. All of a sudden it feels like someone yanks the screen to the side or something. It happens very occasionally, but I'd be lying if I said it actually affected my gameplay severely. The third and main problem is the inventory. This can be very troublesome and legit gets in the way of gameplay, so every time you open your inventory screen, it somehow registers as if you press the select button, which basically opens another UI menu that allows you to scroll through the players. This is bad, because it happens every single time you've opened the inventory, even during firefights, and you will be opening your inventory during them. This is really bad. You can't open or close doors, you can't pick up items or loot, and you can't jump when this UI menu is selected. This means you'll have to constantly tap the close inventory button twice every time you want to close it, and it can be really messy when you're panicking. Yes, it's as bad as it sounds. It's actually a very big bug in the game. There is no way around it. Now I won't lie, I actually gotten quite used to it. Sometimes I do mess up, but for the most part I've been able to manage and have a good time with the game despite of this. So yeah, I don't expect this game to ever get fixed because the sequel for this game is out and they're focusing on that at the moment, even though it's also unplayable because of hackers. But yeah, it really sucks because this game is very fun to play. It just needs a few fixes and it would be good to go. Now let's get into the game for real this time. It's important to note that by Roblox standards, this is an old game. It's been around since like 2012. If you're an OG Robloxian, you'll recognize tons and tons of default assets, such as the stairs and textures in this game. For its time, this was peak world building. Nowadays it's kinda charming seeing all the old Roblox assets, but yeah, this also means that the game has very old standard Roblox things, like the way you hold guns, the way you climb ladders, the way you glitch out on them, the fact that you can play in third and first person. It just has a lot of old Roblox junk that I will mention throughout the video. Alright, so let's go over the main loop of the game. This is a Dayz clone, so you have a hunger meter, a thirst meter, and a stamina bar. There are zombies around that die from one shot to the head. There's only like 2 variants of them, regular and crawlers. Nothing crazy like boomers or tanks. Again, it's very simple. There is a bug in the game though, that makes it so sometimes there are no zombies on the server at all. It happens occasionally, but it doesn't kill the game at all. The focus of the game is PvP, so you need to loot for weapons, meds, and ammo. So yeah, the loop is simple. You spawn in, you loot, you kill, you die. Easy. When you spawn in, you have the ability to create a character. None of it is really important but the perks. There are only 4 perks, and really only one is viable. Let's go over them. The first perk allows you to sprint for longer. Sprinting in this game is how you survive firefights and zombies. During firefights, if you aren't strafing and are running around, you'll get headshotted for days. This is the only viable perk of the bunch. The next perk allows you to conserve your hunger and thirst meter for longer. This isn't really that useful because food and water is literally all over the place, unless it isn't. It's not as bad as in Dayz where you can't really find food all that often. So yeah, this perk is kinda eh. The next perk allows you to sneak better. This means you can crouch past zombies easier. Usually you're able to run through the cities of zombies and lose them by closing the door behind you. Next perk. The next perk is Vitality. It gives you a natural health regen. It's too slow to be viable. So yeah, always get the sprint perk. you'll mostly be running around in this game to get to places anyways. You might also notice these pay to win items, but don't worry, they really aren't. These are just starter kits, and I mean like actual starter kits. None of that pay to win Rust server starter kits with like an AK and a bolty at the beginning of the server wipe. There are also some cases you can find that are for weapon skins that you also pay for, so no, there is no pay to win in this game. It's all about skill and finding way to cheese. Alright, look, this game isn't very much a survival game. The truth is, water and food is everywhere, zombies are a nuisance most of the time. This is a PvP game to its core, but there are a few stuff you can do. You can try and get a car, however this is a very difficult task. You first need to find a wrecked car to fix. The problem is, you almost have to like know you want a car before you even get one. The cars you find are always in super poor conditions. You basically have to find and carry all the individual pieces of the car in your inventory before you find the vehicle. Which is a terrible idea because you have very limited inventory space and the car pieces take up too much slots in your inventory. And if you don't do this, most of the cities and towns in the game aren't actually big enough to spawn all the car parts you need. So yeah, cars are very rare to get. Usually I'll just find people with them and take those. But there is a huge issue with cars. The car has seats for multiple people and a storage in the back which is useful. However, whenever you exit them, you have a high chance of Roblox ragdolling in the floor. Unable to get up no matter what you do, or literally get stuck halfway in the ground for some reason. This renders the cars or any other vehicle unusable. So yeah, we can't use vehicles in the game. One of the many game-breaking bugs this game has. But funny enough, this has been present throughout the game since I can remember. I started playing the game around 2015, so this has just never been fixed. But this is just the way vehicles work in general in old Roblox games. They were always wonky as hell. Enough about vehicles though. There's also cows in this game. Bruh. You can chop them. You can make a campfire with logs and matches, and you can cook the food. That's something you can do. This is the only use, as far as I'm aware of, for the matches. So yeah, this is pretty cool, but like, why? The game also has a base building mechanic. I personally never use it, but I've seen some very impressive stuff done with it. The problem is that building materials take up a lot of space in your inventory, so to get to build something you'll definitely need a car. That way you can store building items in the car. You can use C4 to actually raid bases, which is pretty cool, but other than that, I wouldn't trust a base on this game. Storing items seems kinda useless. It's possible, yes, but this game isn't grindy enough for it to be needed. When you die in this game, you can instantly make a comeback. That's part of the fun of this game, that dying doesn't really bother you all that much. That's basically all you can do in this game besides PvP, so let's go over the PvP. The PvP in this game is insane. As you probably have noticed, the third person action is very weird. Your character model doesn't have to be looking in the direction you're shooting in order for the bullets to get there. As long as your crosshair is on your enemy, you'll do damage. This might seem like a lazy Roblox thing, but it's honestly a feature. It even appeared in the Apocalypse Rising trailer. This is actually a really fun thing to do, and I believe it was even more broken in the early stages of the game. You were able to shoot basically anywhere, no matter the position of your character model. So if you were behind a wall, as long as your crosshair is aiming away from the wall, you'll be able to shoot without exposing yourself at all. That's not really the case anymore though. Third person in general is very important. If you aren't constantly changing between first and third person, you're playing the game wrong. Take advantage of all your options. There is recoil in this game, believe it or not. And in third person, it doesn't move your crosshair at all, but the bullets go everywhere. You have a lot of guns in this game, so many that I haven't even used them all. The only weapon type missing from this game to my knowledge is the sniper. However, you do have ACOG sights and rifles, but you can stick an ACOG sight to a rifle. I actually kinda like this change, no more getting one-shotted when you enter a city. An important component of PvP is your inventory. Since thirst and hunger aren't all that important, you'll instead be carrying the following: ammo, blood bags, painkillers, and if you're lucky, an ACOG site. Ammo is obvious. Now let me explain painkillers and blood bags. Painkillers allow you to tank more hits from zombies and players, so it will take more shots to kill you. This is very important. Using painkillers at the right time can be what wins you a fight. Painkillers last for about 45 seconds, and after it wears out, they'll slightly damage you. But they still are very important. There's been cases where I literally won by a slit of my health. The time to kill in this game is insanely high. You'll be shooting your opponent for days and he still won't die. I swear to God, the pistol you spawn in, the Makarov, is literally S tier. But it's only S tier if you have 3 mags for it. You spawn with 2, so you need 1 more. Because 2 mags, I swear, is never enough to kill anybody. Unless you get headshots, of course. Overall, the Makarov is S tier. Ammo is frequent and it would be A tier if it wasn't for the fact that all pistols in this game suck. Any other pistol will last you like 2 encounters before you run out of ammo. Anyways, blood bags. This is your only healing item in the game. You can eat when you take damage to heal, so take note of that, but it won't be enough to heal you enough to win a fight. So only eat if you take a small bit of damage. Blood bags are OP because they act instantly and heal you fast. They definitely need a nerf, but at the same time not really, because it is this what makes the game fun and strategic. You always gotta check your inventory to see how many painkillers and blood bags you have on you. That way you can know what risks you can take. You should always initiate a fight by popping a painkiller. If you aren't popping painkillers like Dayz Skittles, you're gonna definitely die. This is because you can't really see what gun people have on them when they aren't holding their gun. So since there is no armor system in the game, only painkillers, everyone looks like they're level 1. So even someone who looks like a noob can have an AK on them. So yeah, you will be constantly opening your inventory during firefights. If you aren't, then you're gonna easily get gunned down. So yeah, unless your inventory looks like this, or like this, you're playing the game wrong. This is literally the equivalent of this. There's a lot of guns in this game. I'll give some quick tips on them so you know what to avoid and what to take and what to expect. Basically, avoid the double barrel shotgun. I think it's the worst weapon in the game. The Makarov is OP because there is a tons of ammo for it, like I said. And like I said before as well, automatic guns rule the PvP in this game. If your gun shoots slow, most of the time it's definitely a bad gun. I'm mostly talking about the M3 and the Fedorov, I think it's called, Fedorov. Obviously, if you have no better option, then just take them. If your gun looks like a bunch of navy blue bricks stapled together, then you found a high-end gun. Ammo for them isn't actually as rare as you'd think. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the guns. Okay, so we went over what items you definitely need on you. Now let's go over how you should loot places. Because believe it or not every house or structure in the game is worth your time. When you enter a town, avoid literally all the houses. You can still peek inside because these houses are very basic in design and interiors. There are no lootable containers apart from some that you can place yourself. So all the loot in the game is found on the floor. This means that you can go in third person, walk down the street and look inside the houses quickly through the very wide windows. For the most part, you won't find anything amazing in them. Sometimes you'll occasionally get a gun, like a pistol, a shotgun or a rifle. And if you're lucky, you'll find a submachine gun, but you'll have better luck elsewhere. Now these structures, just avoid them all. They all just have a bunch of building materials and car parts. So unless you're interested in that, definitely avoid. The truth is, the game recycles all these buildings and structures, so if you know which ones to avoid, you can literally just avoid them in every town of the game. So now let's go over what you're actually looking for. You want to look next to these weird barricades on the street. These are everywhere in the game, and they usually have guns next to them. You want to always look for the hospitals as well. Most of the time they have one in town. Honestly, if you don't find guns, so long as you find at least 1 or 2 mags for the Makarov, you're fine honestly. Just get some painkillers and blood bags and you'll be good. Now, the most important structures in the game are these military tents. They almost always have meds and guns in them, and they are usually in every town. So yeah, always look for the tents, the hospitals, and any other structure that is in a normal house or warehouse. This means you can now loot towns in a matter of a minute. Alright, I basically went over the most important aspects of the game. I really recommend you to give this game a try. It might be Roblox, but back then, this was like a total conversion game on Roblox. Like those mods on Skyrim that basically turned the game into The Witcher 3. The game is basically just PvP, kinda how all multiplayer survival games are nowadays. That's really all I have to say about this game though. Thanks for watching.